Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. So today in this session we will going to discuss about the coordinate bond. Okay, so coordinate bond also called as a dative bond or a conic bond or a semipolar bond. You can represent this coordinate bond by any of these names. Okay. Okay, so when this bond formation occur, when it will form, okay, as we know Lewis dot structures है ना. So Lewis dot structure, any metal ion if we are felt difficult means we will draw the like this Lewis dot structures. Okay, so if this Lewis structure of NH3, that is 3 electrons are bonded with the hydrogen atoms. Okay, 3 electrons are bonded with the hydrogen atoms and two lone pairs. So n valence is a 5 na. Okay, so this here two electrons are there. These two electrons what will do? This lone pair will give to this hydrogen atom. Okay, so hydrogen having vacant orbital na, n having lone pair, hydrogen having vacant orbital and n having lone pair of electrons. So it will donate this nitrogen atom, donate these electrons to this hydrogen atom. Why? Because this is a vacant hydrogen atom. Okay, so this lone pair, nitrogen lone pair, ready to donate its electron to vacant orbital of this hydrogen ion. So whenever this kind of bond formation occur, one pair of bond will donate, then the formation of coordinate bond. Okay, this two lone pairs will donate to this hydrogen atom. Okay, then it will get the bond formation. Like this kind of bond we will call like a coordinate bond. Remember this point. Okay, what it means, this is a metal ion, only one part of here, this is a n only na, n onwards we will giving the electrons, but hydrogen not giving any electrons to this atom, right? So one side onwards we will give the electrons. So that type of bond we will call like a coordinate bond. What is the meaning of covalent bond? We already discussed about our previous videos. Coordinate bond means both sharing of electrons. Okay, one electron is sharing to another electron, both mutual sharing, but coordinate bond little bit difference. Okay, so now only one metal ion contribute its electron. So in a covalent bond is a sharing of electron, no? Here only one atom only participating to donate the lone pair of electrons to this hydrogen atom. Clear? So this is a coordinate bond. After making this coordinate bond, this bond will no longer be coordinate bond. It will become a covalent bond. Okay, after its formation you can't analyze whether it a coordinate bond or a covalent bond. So this coordinate bond is given by G.A. Perkin. He is a scientist. This coordinate bond given by this G.A. Perkin. It is a special kind of bond. Coordinate bond is a special kind of bond. You can say this covalent bond which two electrons are sharing or only one atom. Two electrons are sharing only one electron. Okay, or only one atom. Two electrons are sharing only one atom, but this atom can't share the electrons to this atom. Okay, so this is a special type of bond. This is given by G.A. Perkin. It is a special type of bond like a covalent bond in which two electrons are sharing or one atom only. Okay, so note, you have to remember this point very carefully. After the formation of coordinate bond, it become covalent bond. Okay, it become covalent bond is after formation of covalent, and coordinate can't be distinguished. Why? Because bond will form na, so we can't distinguish is this a coordinate bond or a covalent bond. Okay, so what will happen here? Donor atom must have at least one lone pair. Okay, so this is a donor atom. So this is a donor atom. Donor having two lone pair of electrons, so must having at least one lone pair or two lone pairs, must having one lone pair. And acceptor atom must have vacant orbital. Hydrogen atom is a vacant orbital, no? Okay, vacant orbital is there, so coordinate bond will form. Now let's learn more with this example of H2SO4. So okay, H2SO4. So we know already Lewis structure. According to the V. Vesper theory, all will follow the octet rule. Octet rule, 8 electrons it will form, means that is a fulfilled orbital, no? So sulfur having 6 electrons, sulfur having 6 electrons in its valency shell electron. So I am talking only about the sulfur. Okay, I am talking only about the sulfur. Now this sulfur is having two lone pair of two lone pair, here one lone pair, here one lone pair. Okay, then sulfur what will do? So this donate to the lone pair of vacant orbital of this oxygen atom. Okay, this is a vacant orbital. Octet rule means oxygen having the 6 electrons now, 1 2 3 4 5 6. If the sulfur will give the 2 electrons, means it will full satisfied. Why? Because octet rule will follow. And here also now, because why? Because O2 having the 6 electrons now, so this oxygen need 2 electrons, and sulfur having 2 electrons. Sulfur having 2 electrons, this oxygen want to take 2 electrons. So sulfur gets ready to donate its electron to this oxygen atom. So therefore oxygen is fulfilled by the 8 electrons. Oxygen is fulfilled by these 8 electrons. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. 8 electrons. After the donation of electrons, the coordinate become covalent. The coordinate bond will become covalent bond. So this will getting to the double bond. Okay, so this is the way to understand the oxygen having the complete its octet, and sulfur also completed this octet rule. So see this here, oxygen 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. So sulfur having 8 electrons, it's satisfied now. And here if your sulfur is giving to this oxygen to one lone pair, means then it will get satisfied octet rule 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. Then here will form a bond, that is a coordinate bond. After formation of coordinate bond, it will become a covalent bond, right? Here double bond will form. Okay, so this is a way to understand the oxygen having the octet rule, forming of two bonds, right? So now coming to these examples, so okay, so now look forward these examples. Here we are having the sulfur. As we know that the sulfur electronic configuration is 3s2 3p4 3d. Okay, that's two electrons in 3s shell, 4 electrons in 4p. This is 1 2 3 4. 4 electrons in 3p orbitals, and 3d orbital left vacant. So what if it goes to the excited state? What will happen if this sulfur will go to the excited state? Means what will happen? See this, here I am giving the example. If this 3s2 3p4 3d will go to the excited state, means electrons is parallelly filled to the these orbitals. Okay, all orbitals are half filled orbitals like this. 3s orbitals is having one electron, and 3p orbital having 3 electrons, and 3d orbitals having 2 electrons. All are half filled orbitals. Okay, this is the excited state formation. So the number of unpaired electrons are excited state. So the number of unpaired electrons are excited state equal to oxidation number of that atom. Are you able to understand this here? How many unpaired electrons are there here? Excited state. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 na? So 6 is a oxidation state of sulfur. Okay, this is a simple way to represent the oxidation state. So that's why number of unpaired electrons in excited state equals to oxidation number of that atom. Okay, the unpaired electrons decides two oxidation states of any atom. These unpaired electrons will decide. So therefore here we can analyze the double bonds, that oxygen having double bond here, sulfur having double bond, and d orbital, this is a p pi orbital double bond is there na, this is a p pi d pi bond na. Okay, valency shell electrons having 12 electrons na. So where coordinate bond is not possible, then it is supposed to be equal to the double bond. Okay, so this double bond is contain p pi and d pi bond. And clear? So in our next video we will discuss more examples about the coordinate bond. Okay, thank you for watching. Thank you.